getting a heart attack, I'm gonna die.
With the father of Web3 biohacking, guy that everybody's talking about, takes his blood 5 times a day and whatnot.
Well, not quite.
How did you get into this space? How did you start biohacking?
Quite a story. I got into it maybe like 10 years ago, and I was living a very different life back then. So it was one of my first jobs, fresh out of college. I was very ambitious and I was just working kind of non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really taking any care of myself at all, but I didn't know it.
What was your first job?
I was working as an architectural assistant, like designing buildings.
Cool.
So nothing related to what I'm doing now. But basically, I started to experience all sorts of physical symptoms, like initially small, waking up at night in sweat, having dry mouth, and I needed to like use the bathroom all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was having like weird aches in my body, and then eventually it got to the point when I got a panic attack. And I didn't know what the hell panic attack was at that point, but like I was in a crowd in the street and I felt like something is going wrong, I'm getting a heart attack, I'm gonna die. And then I was like, shit, what just happened? I went to a doctor and the doctor ran like all the usual tests, like blood, urine, stool, and everything actually came out good.
Mm-hmm.
All my biomarkers were fine. And I think he was a pretty progressive doctor, so he started to ask me questions about my lifestyle, like, okay, like, do you exercise? And the answer was no. And like, what are you eating? And like, the answer was not as good. And like, crappy fast food. And like, what are you doing outside of work? And I was like, outside of work, like, what is that? And like, are you spending time with friends? Like, no. And he made me realize, like, he really opened my eyes to the fact that, first of all, I have a body, like a physical body, and I should be probably looking after it. I was a very like cerebral person before that, and I still am in a way, but that really made me realize that this is important, and if I don't intervene, things are just gonna get worse. And that just sent me down this rabbit hole of exploring, all the wonders of what this body can do, and like all the little and big interventions that I can use to improve it.
So what were kind of the first steps? Was it vitamin D and starting with full exercise, or what was or did you go straight to healthy living?
Actually, no, I didn't even go for the supplements. It was the really basic stuff, like start going to the gym, like exercise 3 times a week. And like what that did to me physically and mentally already was very good. And like fix my sleep, because my sleep was really terrible at the time. Like I wasn't tracking it. And then later when I started to track it with wearables, I just realized how bad it was. But I was like constantly waking up. I couldn't fall asleep for quite a while, and like I wasn't getting enough deep sleep, and it was just really bad. So I fixed that, and then gradually I started to play with my diet and like realizing like, okay, my body reacts different if I eat different balance of macros, and then like you can go much deeper than that. Yeah.
And how did you track this? Because as a girl, I can definitely see if I eat more carbs one day, I will be more bloated the other day. But these are these vanity metrics. I don't think you are going for the vanity metrics if you have a bigger or smaller tummy in the morning.
I don't think bloating is a vanity metric, because it is still a valid signal, and it probably correlates with how you feel. And so I think looking at biomarkers is important, but listening to your own body is as important, and you can use them both together. But you're absolutely right. So like, and I think this is very individual. So I've tried many different types of diets. Like I've tried keto, and for some people I know keto is like the amazing thing that really gives them mental clarity and solves a lot of problems. For me, I was on keto for like 6+ months. And it was the opposite. Like my resting heart rate went up and stayed elevated, and my body was just telling me like, this is not good for you. And so now I'm on like relatively low carb diet, but not quite keto, and high protein. And that's like in terms of macros, that's kind of the sweet spot for me. And then I'm still trying to figure out with more granularity, like what are the specific foods, the specific ingredients that make me feel more brain fog and that lower my heart rate variability at night. And it's like it is a more another level of that you can go into.
Okay, so exercise and healthy eating, but at what point did you become this crazy biohacker guy that everybody's talking about? You know, that guy takes his blood 5 times a day and whatnot.
Well, not quite. I wish I had like a continuous blood monitor that would measure all my blood biomarkers 5 times a day or more. Not quite there yet. But yes, like I started with the basics, like the big four, like you said, like diet, sleep, exercise, stress management. Like I think that's where everybody should start. Like if you don't fix those, like no supplement is gonna help you. But I'm definitely kind of person who like usually goes all the way. Like I either don't do something at all or I really dive deep, and this was no different. So gradually I just started to go deeper, and then I was looking at like, yes, my vitamin and mineral deficiencies and using blood panels and trying to figure out what supplements I can take to optimize that. Another thing that I'm really interested in now with blood panels is my hormones, like my testosterone level, my cortisol. I'm measuring that. I wish I was measuring that daily. I'm measuring that monthly, which is already like much more frequent than most people. And I've been spending a lot of effort trying to correlate it with different behaviors and different diets and like different things that I do, and trying to figure out like what makes my cortisol optimally low and my testosterone optimally high, and it's like super fascinating for